How I try to sleep, but you're deep in my mind. Got a hold of me. When I'm awake, I'm all blind. You and your magic, like infinite power. God knows I try to resist, but you're pulling me closer. Oh, I gotta stay away, but you won't.
Ooh, now I'm just wondering if you have been thinking about this. What would you say to your younger self? I think we've asked this question before, but what would be the advice that you would give your younger self if you could go back and do it all over again? And maybe they won't listen to you, but yeah, maybe they will. Today we are doing something on longevity, and we're going to have some fun today and talk about some advice and that is coming from those people that are centenarians that have lived to be at least 100 years old. So we can just crack that open, have a little bit of fun with this, and get inspired by what centenarians are saying about longevity and maybe what their secrets are, or maybe some of the lessons they have learned along the way. All right, so let's get going. OJ, how are things?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here again.
Excellent. So let's get going. So here's some advice from centenarians, and this is coming from an article. Most of this is coming from an article that I picked up out of the Washington Post on some, what some centenarians are saying. But there's lots of stuff out there, and I just thought it would be nice to kind of step back and look at what they have to say. So the first one is to choose the right life partner and appreciate the time that you have with them. And we've talked, and we can refer, there's things that we've done on unconditional love. And I think that's really important. If you have the right life partner, you work together, you lift each other up, you light each other up, and it's a lot less stress. And you're not looking for them to, complete you. You're good on your own, but they provide that layer of intimacy and that companionship that is nice to have. But again, it's not about them having to complete you. It's about unconditional love. And speaking of love, do what you love. I love that one. The key to living a long life is having a career that fills you with joy. And I have to say, looking at a whole bunch of centenarians and some of the things they have to say and a little bit about their life, most of them, probably all of them, have stayed very current. And you'll see from the list, there's a lot of things that they're doing to stay active, not just active physically through exercise, but active with their mind. So, and if you do what you love, then it's not a chore, and it's something that you'll probably continue to do even after you get to that age that's considered retirement age. And here where I live, they used to have a law that there was mandatory retirement at age 65. Now that was abolished a long time ago, but It's something I remember because I used to work in the retirement business, and the people are not required to stop working at 65 anymore. And I think that is an arbitrary age, not something that is for everybody. And a lot of times what happens when you stop working, if you don't have something else to do, or something else that stimulates you, something else you love, whether it's a hobby or a new career path, um, it you really are not setting yourself up in a favorable way. So I know people who worked very demanding jobs and careers, and when they retired from that career job, they took on another job. And I know people sometimes laugh. They used to have the Walmart greeters, which were the people who were retired or semi-retired. I know here we have usually people who are retired are the ones who are looking after the crosswalks for the children from school and stuff. And part of that is that it's another thing that they like to do. And they say like it's just nice to do something that you do it, you're appreciated for doing it, but it doesn't cause a lot of stress like some of the career work that they were doing. Another thing, don't get angry, don't hate, don't envy. And so staying positive is really important. And we all have a choice. When things happen to us, we all have a choice whether we're going to get angry or we're going to stay positive, even if something bad happens. Or and I know I'm just going to give an example of being in a supermarket lineup, and the person in front of you is taking a long time. Or I had one time the person in front of me wasn't even there, and the cashier was waiting and waiting. And she eventually, after I had all my stuff already out on the conveyor belt, told me that the guy went to the bank to get money. And so I have a choice to get mad and angry, or to just have love for that person that they didn't come to the store prepared. And it's really easy to get angry. But here's the thing. The only person that who you're influencing or that you're impacting is yourself. And yeah, it's one thing to like have that thought of getting angry, but those emotions kind of refire every 60 seconds or to a minute and a half. And there actually is a chemical reaction happening in your body. And if you just let it play out, you actually will come to joy at the end of that time. But what happens is we keep festering the anger. And I have been there. You get so angry that it ruins your day. And it's only ruining your day. And negative energy is not good for us. And so you do have a choice. And sometimes you get angry. It happens to me, but I'm trying to be having some self mastery now in my life, that I kind of think twice and try to just move to being more positive and sending love to whoever it is that I'm angry at instead. And it's a choice. We all have the choice. Stay true to your principles. So that's a good one. That's another one that's easy for people to, for us to kind of get talked out of things or talked into things. But you have your values. Stay true to your principles or your values. Don't retire. I like this one. We just talked about, loving what you do. And if you retire from your job, that's fine. Most people are, I just retired from my job. But here I am. I'm doing something that I love. I have a purpose and a meaning. So even if you decide to retire, a lot of people, you can do a lot of different things. And when I look at all the centenarians and what they're doing, some of them are painting, they are some still working, maybe they're doing volunteer work, all sorts of things. And here's one that I love. Here is Dr. Howard Tucker, who is 100, and he is the oldest practicing doctor, certified by the Guinness Book of World Records. And he says that is his secret to longevity and a healthy life. So it is possible. And my hat's off to Dr. Tucker, who at 100 years old is still practicing medicine. That is amazing. I'm sure it keeps his mind sharp and definitely gives you something to do. So you're not definitely not sitting there wondering what you're going to do. So this to me is very inspirational, that we don't have to stop working or stop doing things just because our biological age is getting up there. That's I think an important lesson. So here's some more. Learn tolerance. I love this. Be kind and be tolerant. And I think the context that this came from also included, with your kids. It's not just about other people, but also with your kids. And it goes back to we all have a choice to make, and it's easy to be judgmental. It's easy to get angry, but our world is a better place when we come from a place of love, and it's a choice that we make. Cherish your friendships. We found out big time from COVID that we are a very social species as humans, and we do need that social connection. And I know I actually have my friend group is not a big friend group, but the friends that I have are friends that I've had for a long time. And that is really important to me. And these are the people that you can count on, and they become like family to you. When you have friendships that are big, long time friendships, uh, you know, don't, what am I trying to say? Um, uh, really make sure that you're not taking advantage isn't the right word, but make sure that you are recognizing that. Tell your friends how you feel and tell them that you love them. Be positive. We've already talked about that a little bit in anger. And I love this is from some of the centenarians. Everything in our life, we create it, and believe in the importance of self-worth. And self-love and self-worth is something we've talked about a lot. And interesting, I was listening to something this morning and talking about self-love and talking about here's the thing, like a lot of times when people will say, oh, you're full of yourself or whatever. And I think that we downplay the importance of loving ourselves because it can be frowned upon. But what I heard today that I liked was that in terms of self-love, if you are loving yourself and coming from a place of love for yourself, is one thing. It and being, saying that you're awesome. I know I'm an awesome mother. But once you start comparing yourself to other people, that's where the ego comes in. And that's where it comes to that point where people are kind of looking down on you, or not too happy. So think of it that way. It's about really acknowledging the beauty in yourself. But once you start saying, "Oh, I'm a great mother, I'm better than she is," that's when you've crossed the line. So if you can kind of put it in that perspective, that might help you in terms of your self love. Learn from your elders. And I think this goes back for our centenarians back to when they were little, and learn from watching and listening to your elders. Sometimes that's your parents, and others who love and support you. And I know that that's a lesson that I've had in my lifetime is, looking at my parents and really embracing and learning from them. And as I've gotten older and wiser, that has been something that I've been able to do and embrace more myself. When you're young, you're like, oh, they don't know anything. But, I think that if you can watch and learn from your elders and other people that support and love you, then you're being very mature, and it will help you in the long run. Believe in yourself and believe in your own potential. This goes with the self-love, and just make sure that you can do it. We're all born perfect. We're all born genius, and it's finding that genius inside. And it's as we get go through socializing when we're a baby, like around uh, 18 months to 2 years, we start getting that belief in us that maybe we're not good enough. And that, when our parents scold us, that the love has been taken away from us, and that we lose that tie to unconditional love. And a lot of times it's not because our parents don't love us, but it's how we're perceiving it in the world. But believe in yourself and believe in your potential, because we all have the potential. It's about getting out, not letting the fear that we're not good enough get in the way. Keep asking questions. Life is about asking questions over and over again. So always be inquisitive, always be looking, basically, always be ready to learn. And if you consider life as a learning experience, that's what life is. It is a learning experience. So as you keep learning, you will continue to grow as a person, and that will help you to catapult your way to becoming a centenarian. Be kind. I think we've already kind of talked about this. Come from a place of love. No matter how hectic life gets, it's important to help people and to show up for your loved ones. And so this is a really nice one. I love stuff like this. Always be kind. More on the personal growth and education. Never stop reading. So this comes from somebody who said that they spend an hour a day reading, and there is always something that you can learn. Keep moving. Even if you're not feeling good, keep walking, keep moving. And I think it's important that we at least do something so that our muscles don't atrophy. And I'm just going to show you in a bit some amazing, like believe it or not, if you haven't already, there are senior Olympics and senior things that you can do, competitions and things to keep you moving. So just because you get to a certain age doesn't mean you have to stop. And as a matter of fact, you shouldn't stop. Stay determined, persevere through hard times. And this comes from one of the centenarians. Um, always resilient, never fearful. I think that's a great motto from one of the centenarians. And here's one. I want to this is actually what inspired me to do this little thing on longevity and talk about what centenarians are doing. This is the world record holder, or was the world record holder for the 100-meter dash for the age category 105 and up. She did it in 1 minute, 2 seconds, 2.95 seconds. Well, that's not quite right. Anyway, just under 1 minute and 3 seconds. And this was in November of 2021. And I love this, is so great. This record has been broken by a lady in India who did it in just over 45 seconds. So I believe I don't know if that's the current record holder, but I just was very inspired by the fact that, here there are centenarians, and I don't think that she's the only one, who are still out there competing and running and being active. There was a gentleman from India who is the oldest world record holder for running a marathon. He ran marathons. He didn't start, I believe it was till he was 90, and ran marathons until he was 100. So it is possible. Again, don't count yourself out just because of your biological age. And these are things that will help keep you feeling younger. So it's not about your biological age. It's by how your vitality and how you feel. So just, always keep those things in mind. You could live to 100 and be in a nursing home, not able to do anything, bedridden, or, that's one thing. But to be 105 and so vibrant and full of life is a whole nother thing. And that's really where we all want quality of life. And what would you tell your younger self? This is coming from our centenarians, and just a few things that they had advice for their younger self. The first one, get yourself a decent education. Number two, eat well and take better care of yourself. Believe in yourself, have self-confidence, then you can do almost anything. And don't pass up the chance to further your education. Who came from someone else. And I know, I'm pretty sure some of these centenarians went back to school, to university, to get a degree at, later in life after they finished doing whatever career and stuff. So again, as long as you have the self-confidence, you can do almost anything that you set your mind to. And I have a couple of quotes that I will leave you with. When I was 20, life was ahead of me. When I was 30, I still had life ahead of me. Now I'm 102 and life is still ahead of me. And that comes from Betty Reed Soskin, who is 102, and such a great outlook on life. And it's true. There's nothing about the past. We all need to look forward to and the present is really where we are now. And that's it. Feel great now. Live your life in a kind way. If you can help someone without making a big to do about it, or if you can help someone without making a big to do about it, and kindness always comes back to help you. And this is from Matilda Clune, also 102. And that's just by chance. So I want to say that again because I kind of butchered it. Live your life in a kind way. If you can help someone without making a big to do about it, kindness always comes back to help you. And I think that is the note I would love to leave on today. Yeah. OJ, any thoughts or questions?
That's amazing. I had a great time listening to you talk about what centenarians have to say to us upcoming. I kind of like the fact that they had their lessons, they learned from their mistakes, and they could tell us, okay, this is what you could do to live a fulfilled life. This is what you shouldn't do to live a fulfilled life, and it resonates with me so well, and I can see a lot of meaning in what they've said, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Now all we have to do is put it into practice. And
Yeah, that's right.
that is a lifelong thing to practice these things.
That's
And I think also, putting everything into practice isn't very easy. But if you can
that's right.
just pick one thing and work on one thing, then you can move forward. And that's part of self mastery, which is a really big
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
So I hope that you were inspired by this like these little tidbits coming from centenarians who are
Yeah,
active and alive and just living life to the fullest. And that's where we all should be, living life to the fullest. If you want to know more about longevity, then follow us as we do more on longevity, aging, and how to live the life of your dreams. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
bye bye.